Hello and welcome to another episode of the series where I'm trying to build slash refit this Blockade ship that I've been working on. It pretty much is done. It just needs a few finishing touches if I get around to it, but which I would like to, because I would love to get this actually published, not just sitting like 90% complete. Man, it's been a while since I actually recorded this footage. I don't totally remember what I get done. I just do know that towards the end of this video, I actually show some of like the weapon core weapons firing, because I figured it would be good to kind of document how those weapons, like you can see some of those on the side of the wing, but to document how some of those fire before removing them. So I did record that, but this footage is back from September of 2024, and I feel like I edited it. I don't remember when I edited it, but I feel like even that was a while ago. So it's taken me a while to get around to recording narration for it, and who knows how much longer it'll take. Today is the 6th of March of 2025, so we'll see how long it takes for me to actually get around to putting some maybe background music and then uploading it. But in this video, it looks like we're replacing those kind of rocket launcher turrets that are kind of mounted there on the sides, which those were originally these massive weapon core rocket launchers or missile launchers or whatever, which I don't know if that makes sense to put these giant missile launchers just on the sides of the ship. Believe it or not, I'm not a ship designer in real life. I do know like I've seen videos of like the weapon systems they have on ships, and sometimes they just have like weapon systems, and they're not really like, I'm trying to think of the best way to say it, like they're just where they are. I don't know, like they're just literally like on the deck. They just leave some like weapon systems like just where there's room. Like it just seems like they just put things where they have room for it sometimes, and it's because you'll have some of the different turrets and different weapon systems that they have, and they put it like in its own like area where you're like, okay, this is the area for the this machine gun that they have, and then you'll see some like rocket systems. It's like, oh, they just left this somewhere. It's not in its own area, it's just where it is. So I don't know how much like obviously the weapon placement matters, but for some weapons, like if it's a guided missile or something, like maybe I don't know, maybe it's not as important. But it looks like I just sort of took this wing or the roof, whatever you call the roof on a spaceship, I don't know, but it looks like I'm just putting nothing on it. So I'm just kind of taking out all of this kind of, I don't know, blocks that I had to hold the rocket launchers on. But the weapon core rocket launchers that I had on there originally, they kind of remind me of like in Star Wars, the Imperial Star Destroyer, because they had like the domes, those giant, which I think were the shield generators. They had the domes that were just on the sides, and I kind of like it because it's regardless of the practicality, which I don't know, I feel like that might be a vulnerable target, but I don't know. I mean, it's imposing, and that's something about the Star Destroyer. I mean, and those shield generators were that made no sense. Like, which is part of the point of the Imperial, I guess the Empire in general, is that a lot of the decision making, like it was meant to be like, okay, this actually doesn't make sense because they are stupid. But anyways, it's kind of probably a bad idea having your shield generators just out in the open. But it looked imposing, at least. Like it made the Star Destroyer look more imposing. But so I kind of like that in its own way. But I don't know. I'm kind of torn on whether I prefer the ship with or without those rocket launchers. The weapon core ones worked, I think, all right, as I recall. The vanilla ones, the vanilla rocket launchers, just like don't work at all, pretty much. Like, because they'll just shoot your ship. They like won't really, I don't know. it kind of feels like the I don't know. It just feels too risky for your ship getting hit by rockets. I don't know if I keep these ones. Like I'm obviously working on them now in this video, but I don't know if I removed these. I feel like I might have removed these after recording this footage, and if I didn't, then I probably will. But I do think having those rockets there is probably better than having the rockets on the side. I don't know. Okay, so here's the part of the video that where I kind of have the ship firing its weapons, just to show some of the weapon core weapons, which I do like. I mean, I am very pleased, like I say, of how the ship is turning out with vanilla weapons, but that is so loud. That is actually ridiculous. That's one thing I don't like, is that the weapon sounds are not really balanced, I feel like. But I love these kind of lasers. I forget what it's called, but one of the weapons is just this like laser that fires. It takes like forever to charge, but it does like insane damage. I think I have damage off anyway, but I like that one. I think it was originally white, but out of the center I have like I think like 4 lasers that just fire periodically, and then like 2 ones that that's the big one firing, but it's only firing from one side for whatever reason. I don't know. It's supposed to fire 2 of those, and that does like crazy damage. But it was originally white when I installed the mod, and then they changed it to also be red, which I prefer the white, because this ship like was kind of the original concept was there's this game Astro Avenger, and the ship is meant to be kind of a bigger version of one of the ships in there. So and that fired basically 2 white beams out of the center, kind of how this one did, before they changed the color. And obviously, since they're modded weapons, they've been removed after the recording of this footage, but they have been removed. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of this video. I know I've done other in other recordings, I've recorded more of the ship firing to give more of a view of that, I guess. But yeah, I guess that is it. If you watched, thank you for watching. Enjoy your day, and bye for now.